All right, some dismal September CPI numbers are out with inflation climbing almost 0.5% again, bringing our total jump to 8.2% from the last year, folks. That means if you put $1 in the bank a year ago, it's only worth 80 cents this year. That's actually remarkable. So from last year, the administration is conveniently spinning and trying to use the core inflation number as a talking point because, of course, that removes food and fuel from the conversation, which brings it down to about 6%. Actually, my math was a little off. Your dollar's worth 92 cents, not 80 cents.
Still not a full dollar, but
yeah,
also food and gas, obviously something that everyday Americans use. For more on this, we're going to welcome in former White House Council of Economic Advisors Chair and economist at University of Chicago, Tomas Philipson. Thomas, let's get right to it. The core inflation number here, 6.6%, instead of that 8.2% that was being reported as we were talking about a 40-year inflation high. Is this just to take away from bigger issues?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. I mean, if you look at what we've seen in the last year and a half, it's been a dramatic. We talk about soft landing, but think about the seniors in particular. They don't have any income growth to offset this inflation with because they're living mostly, a vast majority of them, on Social Security checks. And basically, those don't get adjusted as quickly. It's going to be adjusted in January, and it's going to be a big increase. But they are basically taking a standard of living reduction of 8%, which is massive. So talking about that, the economy is doing well when that is happening, I think is very misguided.
Yeah, no, absolutely. To that point, the Fed, right now we have monetary policy, we talked about this yesterday, and fiscal policy. The fiscal policy is where the government just takes your money via taxes and spends it on whatever the heck they want, like shrimps running on treadmills. But the 12 unelected bureaucrats run the Fed. They control how much our money is worth and how much it's going to cost for you to access more of it. How high do you think these people are going to have to raise interest rates to essentially stall the economy to prevent further falling into this more of a recession?
Well, they're already stalling it in what we call interest-sensitive sectors, meaning when you take out credit to buy anything, that would be cars, that would be houses, that would be appliances, large appliances. Those markets are already seeing, cutbacks. We see permits in housing having fallen quite a bit. And the problem is that when they're doing this, everything is with a lag of maybe a half a year to a year. So when they're looking at today's data to decide policy, they're really looking at things that are going to have an effect in the spring of 2023. And no, it's impossible to know how to do that. And the problem is that we think bureaucrats, it's not only bureaucrats, Wall Street can't do it either, but it's impossible for people to forecast the economy. And we act as if these people can kind of fine-tune the economy, which I think is very, very misleading.
Yeah.
Thomas, and speaking of things that are rising, the national gas average $3.89 a gallon, but in California, it can be upwards of $7 a gallon. Are we going to see any end to this anytime soon?
Well, California has the highest taxes, so they usually are higher in everything in terms of gas. So we're seeing, obviously, now that OPEC is cutting back. The problem is that OPEC has cut back twice the amount that Biden has kind of squandered the strategic petroleum reserve. So they're cutting back about 2 million a day. We're using about 1 million a day from the reserve. That's going to be a disaster if the Biden administration is trying to counteract that before the election, because the reserve is already down, 40% or something. Right. And it's meant to basically be for a rainy day. And this is not a rainy day to try to keep an election or trying to win an election with the reserve.